FTFE fights furry flat earth evidence. Hugh Jars starts the Flurf's worst bracket. And Team Skeptic calls out potential fraud in the community. Those stories and more as the plot thickens. Today's show is brought to you by channel members and patrons alike. To contribute to this show, hit that join button or head over to www.patreon.com/theplothole1. That's the number one, not the loneliest number you can ever do. Rack focus. Good afternoon, everyone. Johnny O from the Plot Hole. Today, we're going to take a look at several stories from the community. In the spirit of football, the non-American, well, pretty much everywhere except America, football, YouTube content creator Hugh Jars has started a World Cup of sorts, the Flurf World Cup. Hugh has pitted flat earth pushers like Eric Dubé, Mark Sargent, JM Truth, and Joey Rocha all together in the world's dumbest person bracket. You can vote for who you think the best or worst flat earther is on Hugh Jars' YouTube channel. Links will be in the description. Former flat earth and conspiracy theorist Seek Truth Speak Truth has an amazing announcement to make.
Hello, you beautiful, wonderful people. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. Go and subscribe to A Part of History, my new history channel. All videos in future history will be on there. This will obviously still be STST's home, but history is going to be over there. Go down there and subscribe. It will be in the comment section pinned. Thank you very much, everyone. Stay safe. Come and be a part of history over there. Keep it global. Bloody love you all.
I, for one, look forward to Craig's new venture into learning about history, especially the history in the area that he lives and history all over the world. Craig, you've been an amazing content creator and an awesome beacon of what it's like and what people should strive to be. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You call it out, you accept it. I wish you nothing but success on your new channel. Be sure to check out Craig's new channel, A Part of History. Links in the description. We'll be right back. Be sure to check out Slim the Living Cyborg. He is an amazing and talented individual, to say the least. Enjoying the show? Be sure to hit that like button and share this on all the socials. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and tickling that bell. That way you get notified every time I release a video. You can contribute to the show by becoming a channel member by hitting that join button, heading over to www.patreon.com/theplothole1. That's the number one, not the loneliest number you could ever do. Or donating via PayPal, or picking up some merchandise from our merch store. All links will be in the description below. A few weeks ago, I challenged Fight the Flat Earth's Craig to step out of his comfort zone. And step out of his comfort zone he did. But this isn't exactly what I meant. I can understand that finding new and exciting proponents of Flat Earth can be difficult. But perhaps your screening process needs a little bit of fine-tuning.
Well, you gotta get flat earther, people to get on this flat earth motion with different, on a different angle. right? I'm coming up with this. It catches people's eye. People come to me. They ask questions. Like I have like SS on a cover on my one account that people went from Globe
Yeah,
to
I see you in
FE.
Discord, guys. Yeah. Well, here's the picture that they sent. I can show that. That's fine. I'm just going to read out some statements from the Discord. Oh God.
Okay.
Oh no. 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 Nope. Lol. No. 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 What the is this? No. I'm clicking away now. Lol. What the How about please no?
Wow.
What the am I looking at? Legit love this. There's a couple. Most people are completely
Yay.
broken. 7 nopes. She's
Damn.
just trolling you. This is odd.
This is
Draco Fire
so-
says, please no, why did you do this to us? Craven Mordic now has a boner.
Nice. I mean, that's appropriate.
I don't think that the chat want me to show.
No, they're saying no because it's furries and like feet. I was an admin of a group and I was showing like furry pictures, and my group did you know there's people who literally attack people because they're a furry? And not only that, because you're a glober, because you're a glober, you attack us FE. Like I can't even I've lost Facebook account for going against you globs. Like you guys seriously have an anger issue and this is why I'm so fucking determined to always fight for FE. Always will and always will continue. Like hands down.
Yes, Mallory is a self-proclaimed flat earth furry. Why that's even a thing is beyond me. Well, Dubay, we have you to thank for this. I hope you're happy. What's this? We have breaking news from special plot hole correspondent Skydiver Tanner. Let's go live with Tanner now. Tanner, what is it you've uncovered?
Are we live? Yes, we're live? All right, thank you, Johnny. This is field reporter Tanner with As the Plot Thickens. Now, we received some audio from someone anonymous in the community. It seems to have Jessica G and PhD Tony. Now, the one thing we do know is that they were playing something. So let's have a listen real quick.
Okay, you're finally in.
Yes, I'm finally in.
Okay.
That's right, folks. You heard that correctly. Now, I don't exactly know what's going on. Like I said, the only thing we can confirm is that they were playing something. I want to play it again for you guys to listen to make sure you heard that correctly.
Okay, you're finally in.
Yes, I'm finally in.
Okay.
Now, Johnny, I don't know what to take of this. Maybe you have something you can say for it, but all I know is that this was given to us from someone, an anonymous source. We'll play it one more time before we send it back to you.
Okay, you're finally in.
Yes, I'm finally in.
Okay.
I don't know, that seems pretty damning, Johnny. What do you think of it? Back to you.
Thank you, Tanner. I'm sure we'll keep you updated as this is a developing story. Team Skeptic has formally and officially thrown the gauntlet at Red's Rhetoric and Shawn Hufford. In a recent YouTube rant on Team Skeptic's new series, Whiskey Wednesdays, Team Skeptic officially called out Shawn Hufford for what Team believes to be fraud.
Let me get something straight, guys, and everybody out there should know this. Shawn Hufford is absolutely f***ing scamming you guys, okay? The motherfucker did not f***ing... He took $10,000, $12,000 from this community, okay? 12 and I know people are gonna say, oh, but Unirock. No, this has nothing to do with Unirock. I don't even give a about what that guy says. But let me explain something to you very personally. I was a part of a fundraiser in which I called Shawn out for the lies that he was saying, and he continued to lie. And through those lies, he raised $10,000 in fundraiser money to this f***ing community. Okay, with the backing of not just Red's Rhetoric, but me, Astronomy Lives, FTFE, all of us. We all backed that guy. And that guy f***ing stole y'all's money. And you want to know why I don't f*** with that community anymore? You want to know why I don't f***ing associate myself with those people? Because they did that shit. And then they backed each other up on it after I called them out.
During that rant, Team also called out content creator Red's Rhetoric, stating that Reds also knew about the misappropriations of funds by Shawn Hufford. Red's Rhetoric declined my invitation for comment. However, he did release this statement via YouTube.
Sure, it is possible that Shawn Hufford is the most clever fraud on the planet. It could be the case that we were lied to. That doesn't make us assholes. That makes us people who have been duped. And it is at this point that the similarities end between you and me. Because while you have chosen to jump to conclusions and have a drunken pissy fit on the internet, I have decided to wait for the information to come out and to offer refunds to those who donated to Shawn's fundraiser in the meantime. I can't force Shawn to make the 1,000-mile trip to take care of this shit. I can't force him to get it done on my time frame. The best I can do in the meantime is offer refunds despite me being innocent of any asserted crime.
The parties involved with the fundraiser have been under scrutiny for quite some time. With the latest call to action by Team Skeptic, I decided to take a look at the evidence. Here's where we step into the op-ed portion of the show. Now, in my short time looking at the evidence, and I will admit that I have not seen all of it, but I'm still looking into it, I am not convinced that there's any intentional fraud going on here. I'm also not convinced that Shawn Hufford has been completely honest with the community. Let's start at the beginning. Shawn Hufford was put in a very difficult position when he lost his job at the end of 2019, around September, October area. He reached out to some of his friends, AT2 Productions and Red's Rhetoric, letting him know of his situation. Now, Red's Rhetoric offered Shawn a place to live while he looked for another job in Florida. Shawn hesitated, stating that he didn't want to have a broken lease on his record. So AT2 Productions, Red's Rhetoric, and a few other content creators got together in order to host a live stream or a fundraiser in order to raise the funds to be able to buy out Shawn Hufford's lease. Now, the goal of this fundraiser was just over $10,000. The fundraiser was supported by several members of the debunker community, stating that Shawn needed the help. And like most people, if this is your friend, you're going to help. After raising the money, Shawn Hufford states that he bought out the rest of his lease, paying with a check. That's an important fact to remember. He then moved in with Cy Strikeling and not Red's Rhetoric. Shortly after, Shawn Hufford was evicted from an apartment he no longer lived at. Hufford states that the eviction wasn't related to the amount of rent owed. Shawn moved around the end of 2019, around September, October-ish. The eviction was formally filed on December 19th of 2019. And the order of eviction was signed on January 16th of 2020. The final order granting a motion of default judgment was entered in February 20th of 2020 in the amount of $2,110.61 plus court costs. Hufford further says that these charges are not related to the lease that he already purchased. Fair enough, but when the community demanded evidence of said payment, Hufford balked, stating that he no longer had access to his bank account, seeing as how that bank account was closed. And this is where things get a little fishy. Federal law requires financial institutions to keep records for a minimum of 5 years after an account is closed. All Shawn Hufford has to do is contact his bank and request those documents. Now, he might have to pay a small finder's fee or whatever. We're talking $5 to $15 to get a copy of that record. But that record is readily available to him. However, when he was positioned with this, Shawn Hufford then changed his story, stating that they purchased a money order with cash and he lost the receipt of that money order when he moved out. Even if that's true, all Shawn Hufford has to do is contact the property management company and request a copy of that payment. By law, they have to provide that to him. Hufford balked at that too, stating that he didn't have the money to make the trip to Indiana to collect these documents. It's important to note that Indiana state law does not require landlords to take reasonable steps in order to re-rent an apartment after a person breaks his or her lease, thus showing that Shawn wasn't dishonest with his concerns about this lease appearing on his credit. However, just because Indiana doesn't require landlords to make reasonable attempts to relet an apartment doesn't mean that Shawn Hufford couldn't have approached his property management company with the idea, hey, I'm going to buy out my lease. I'm going to give you the 10 months of lease, 10 months of rent that I'm going to owe in order to break this lease. I'm willing to bet that there's not a single company out there that wouldn't have let him out of that lease right then and there. Said, yes, we'll take the money as payment to release you of obligation for this lease. So therefore, where's that document? How come we haven't seen that agreement? Again, this is something that a property management company is required by law to release to Shawn should he ask for it. As many in the community have stated, had Shawn Hufford simply provided a receipt or document or any kind of evidence whatsoever to his claims, this whole issue would be in the rearview mirror. However, seeing as how Hufford has stated that he would rather just leave the internet and move on instead of clearing his and his friends' names, then the community has a right to be upset and demand answers. What Red's rhetoric and his supporters don't understand is that just because this fundraiser or that fundraiser or some other fundraiser went off swimmingly and have, no allegations of misappropriations of funds or fraud doesn't absolve him or anybody else of responsibility when it comes to this particular fundraiser. One bad fundraiser, one misappropriation of funds from a fundraiser, or one claim of fraud needs to be thoroughly investigated. Now, I will give it to Reds when he says that he is waiting for all the pieces to fall into place. However, I don't think and I don't see the call to action by Red's rhetoric. Now, again, I'm not privy to what happens behind closed doors, behind the scenes. I'm only seeing what the majority of the community is seeing. And the community has demanded answers. Here's the thing. Had Shawn Hufford simply said, hey, look, guys, I appreciate the money. I'm using this money to help myself relocate. I found a different place to relocate that's going to get me a job and, I'm whatever. Romance, whatever. I'm willing to bet that the community would have said, you know what? Good on you. Take that money and go. But it's a simple fact that this community raised $10,000 and they are not satisfied with where or how the money was spent. The community believes it has been scammed or at least misled about the allocations of those funds. Now, Mr. Hufford, if it is your position that you paid that rent, produce the evidence. Put this all in the rearview mirror. Clear up the names of Red's rhetoric, Fight the Flat Earth, AT2 Productions, Team Skeptic, and yourself. Let's put this to bed. Now, as this is a continuing developing story, I will be sure to update you should anything else present itself. And that's our story. If you have any feedback, please leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I really do enjoy reading all of them. As always, I'm Johnny O from the Plot Hole, and I'll be sure to keep you updated as the plot thickens.